Hello again and welcome back to the weekly box opening of the week. This will be an interesting one. This is Breyer Riders, Hood Ornaments, and Other. So who knows what we're going to find this week. Alright, we will start with a Breyer Horse and Rider. Looks like it's going to be a Breyer. We have the Breyer Western Pony in black and white pinto with reins and the original saddle blanket. This has a little piece of elastic underneath that would keep it on, and the Indian Brave that goes with it. I am not a Breyer Rider expert. There are many variations, but I am going to simply say that this guy has blue pants and a blue headband with red and white paintings on his legs and on his headband. He does not have any accessories. He has a little hole where he could have a knife. He has holes in his back where he would have a bow and arrow, but he does not have any accessories, but he does have his blanket, which is cool. Most of these Breyer horses and riders did lose their accessories because they were used as toys. They were introduced 1954, 55, didn't run for a very long time, so maybe through 1960 most of them were stopped being produced. And so this is a nice example. The horse is in decent condition. The Indian Rider is in very nice condition, no accessories, but he does have his saddle blanket, so that is a very nice set. And next we have another interesting. This is another Western Pony. I'll bring back the other guy. This is the same Indian Pony with a similar, this is interesting. This is a similar saddle blanket, but this one is of a felted material. This one looks like it's a little more woven. Like I said, I'm not an expert on the horses and riders, but they do have two different Indians. This one is in red and brown, as opposed to the other guy's colors. He also does not have any accessories. He is in pretty nice shape. His war paintings, the brown guy's war paintings, are airbrushed on, whereas the blue guys look like they're hand painted on. Leads me to believe that the hand painted was a little earlier, but companies do change their technique throughout time, so that could be a part of it. The riders actually do not have any mold marks, and the horses at this time did not have any mold marks either, so nothing on this set would tell you that they're made by Breyer, but as a collector, we know that these are Breyers. Oh, this guy also has a little hole in his head where a little feather would go. This guy does not have that hole. What was I going to say? But the other manufacturer that made these horses extremely similar was Heartland. There are telltale differences as we get into the collection. They may or may not show up. When they do, we'll talk about them. This horse is in a little better shape than the other guy, but other than that, they're very similar. So now we'll get into some of that other. This is a running horse, running mare, in glossy gray dapple. So she is painted in gray, and then she had the splatter wax splattered on. They painted her gray, and then they wiped off the wax, and then you could see the beautiful dappling. She is in pretty nice condition. She has really nice high gloss. She does have a little flaw in the gloss along her neckline where there's some bubbling, and she also has it up. It makes it look to me like she actually got squished when she came out of the mold or when she was being molded. It looks like something pressed down on her because she has quite a few, you probably can't see it in the video, but quite a few mold flaws and bubbling along in here. Makes it look like when she came hot out of the injection mold, she got a little squished. But she has nice color and shading. This used to be the cat's meow. Now they're a lot more common. And it looks like, I thought I saw her foal in here with her. So this is the matching foal to Mom. They're a pretty nice match set, but the foal is in pretty bad shape. He's got a lot of rubs on his barrel, on his shoulder, on his tail, up over his eyes. Very nice shading, nice matched set. Both of them have fairly constrained dappling over their hindquarters. Like I said, they used to be very popular. Now they're not quite so much, but they are still a lovely, very vintage set. And what else? We have, I apologize, I don't know the exact mold name, but this is the Amber and Ashley Foals. They were originally sculpted, I think, as Morgans. And I think this set was issued as a limited edition or collector's edition. I don't know which one's Amber and which one's Ashley, but they are a matching full set. This one's got definitely a lot more brown on the Appaloosa. This one, the Appaloosa pattern's a lot more white. They have kind of the polka dot dapples or polka dot Appaloosa spots. Very nice condition. I want to say cricket and willow, but don't quote me on that one. This color isn't very realistic, so collectors are like, meh, they're nice. It's nicely shaded, but not the most exciting color on the set, but decent condition. And this is a Fury, ooh, nice. This is a Fury Prancer, and he has a rider with him with lots of stuff. So the Fury Prancer was actually molded. This is, it might not show up on the video, but this is a chocolate brown. He was actually molded in that color plastic, and then the whites were painted on over the top. He has his reins, and along with him he has a saddle pad. None of this is marked Breyer, you just have to know. This is the English saddle, and there is no cinch on the saddle to keep it on, so these got lost pretty easily. The Canadian Mountie rider, and our Canadian Mountie rider, who does not want to stay on his horse, has his Canadian Mountie hat. So that is a lovely set. It is actually not complete, I don't think. Maybe he is, because I don't see anywhere, there's no holes on him anywhere for an actual gun or any other accoutrement to be with him, so this may be a complete set. The face is painted on, it's a little rubbed up. He's got a lot of rubbing across his nose and his face and up over his head. He has a few rubs here on his knees. Other than that, he's in pretty good condition. And his hat has nothing painted on it, so that's just solid molded plastic. He doesn't want to sit on his Fury Prancer mount very well. I will find that later. And it's an intact set. There's no breaks anywhere. The horse is in decent condition. There's a few rubs. They weren't made for a long time. Again, same as the other set. It was mid to late 50s. And you don't find them very often with all of the accessories, particularly the saddle and the saddle blanket got lost a lot. So it's a very nice set to have this many pieces with. Set him there very carefully. And I'll go with this guy next. This is a reissue. This guy was issued in the, I think, early 2000s. It is the Cowboy and Prancer number 717, reissued from the 1954 original. This is a different mold than the horse is the same. He has a different saddle and a different rider than that guy. This is Capture a Breyer collectible. So he doesn't, this guy doesn't have a name. He was originally issued as Davy Crockett, but this guy is just a generic horse and rider series. Now the horse probably will have a mold mark on him stating that he's Breyer. So late 60s, early 70s, Breyer started putting mold marks. So any mold that was issued after that time period was issued with that mold mark. Anything that was issued before got that mold mark put on as they felt like it. So on the inside of his leg, you probably can't see it in the video, he has a round Breyer Molding Company stamp. So now we can identify, even if we didn't know already, that this was indeed a Breyer product. This guy sits a little bit nicer on his horse. And I didn't see any accessories with him, which is surprising considering he's a newer issued horse. So it's just the horse, the rider, the saddle, and the hang tag. Maybe a couple boxes later we'll come across the rest of his accoutrements. But he should have a hat, and he should have 2 rifles, or 2 pistols. He has holes here that are for pistols. So it's a very nice set, really pretty. The horse is done beautifully in buckskin. They've done a nice job painting the rider. Again, all of these horses and riders are painted by hand. So very nicely done, and still pretty collectible, especially because this is such an attractive set. The colors are nice, the horse is nice, everything just goes together as a set. So he's a really cool piece. Now we're going to get into, oh, this is heavy. Oh, this is interesting. This is a copy of the Breyer lying down foal in metal. And he has absolutely no marks on him. He's very poorly detailed in the face. This is a definite poorly made copy of this mold. We don't know where they were made or when. He's probably made of something that we call pot metal, which is just a very cheap, inexpensive metal. And he looks like he's been washed over the top with some kind of a brass-like finish, because when you're looking at him underneath, you can see there's a bit of a wash to him. He is not broken. Well, the tail may have been broken off and re-glued. We'd have to study that because that looks a little questionable to me. It's a cute little novelty, and some people like to have a lot of the little extra copies and predecessors to the Breyer molds, but this is considered just a decorative piece. So nice piece, very, very, very heavy, and again, not very well detailed. And this last guy, this guy is cool. I haven't seen one of these in ages. This is a copy of the Breyer Mustang. I believe that they may have been, I think they were intended to be hood ornaments. You would have to have a serious piece of steel to put this horse on because he is heavy. He is a copy of the Breyer semi-rearing Mustang, which is intended to either sit on his tail or rock forward. This particular piece is intended to rock forward onto that front hoof. I'm sure we'll see some Mustangs and we'll talk about that. Very popular. Everybody loves these pieces. I think I've seen them on cars maybe once or twice, but they have on the hooves holes drilled so that you can drill holes in your hood and actually put this on the hood of your car. I have a 71 Ford 3/4 ton pickup, which could probably accommodate this, but it definitely would not do so well on the smaller, lighter cars of today that are made of fiberglass, because this puppy weighs a couple pounds. He could do some damage bashing somebody over the head with it. He is an unauthorized copy. I saw them in automotive parts catalogs in the 70s and 80s, and he's very, very popular. Lots of people really like him because it's a very popular mold. He looks gorgeous in this chrome. He's plated chrome, so again, he's hollow inside. He's then kind of this chrome finish applied over the top. Very nice condition. This guy has absolutely no breaks. He's a beautiful piece. I actually wanted one of these for years and years to put on my pickup, but I don't drive it so much anymore, so I would probably just keep it in the horse room. So very nice piece, and a very cool end to a very interesting box with a lot of different variety. So we'll see what happens next week. I don't know. Hope you join me. Thank you.